So we just did a rewatch of Detective Gaither's testimony back in April of this year. Saw some interesting stuff in retrospect, but really something that stood out to me is something that Judge Whitaker was dealing with on August 16th of this year, 2 Fridays ago at this point. And it's relating to how the state plans to establish that they know what date a picture that was posted is from. We're going to watch what happened on August, and we're going to tie it back into something that Detective Gaither said while she was testifying, and how it makes no sense, how I really don't think we can have any confidence that Detective Gaither will be able to come back, testify, and give us clarity on this particular issue. So we're going to watch a clip from August 16th, and then we're going to watch a clip from back in April when Detective Gaither was getting cross-examined. So here we go.
How about, I had asked about the January 10th,
The blurb at the beginning
that
of the
was,
day?
and you, Miss Love, weren't here at the time, and we wondered if maybe you knew
I
the
heard.
origin of that.
I heard, and I do know the
Okay.
origin of that. So if I'm not mistaken, the court was inquiring and there was a motion of sorts regarding the date at the top of the picture of Mr. Stillwell looking out of Mr. Williams' condo, contemplating. So that photograph, Ms.
Mhm.
Hilton was correct in that Mr. Zachary told the police that he took the photograph a few days earlier or in the latter part of 2014. However, the date on the photograph comes from as it was placed on the social media page, the same way that the date of a posting appears on any Instagram or Twitter or whatever. The date of the posting is under the picture that is posted. So I didn't, unless I misinterpreted what the question was, the answer is that it was screen grabbed from Mr. Stillwell's account.
Mhm.
And the date of the posting as shown on his social media page was January 10th, 2015.
Okay, well, it didn't, if it's a screen grab, is this the screen grab?
I'd have to see the one.
Well, it's what's filed in the motion.
That's the motion in limine.
Motion in limine regarding admissibility of social media posts and alleged date of posting that was filed 8/15.
If you're on with
Sure.
You guys have already
This
tried to
question
argue
here
this. You
came
should
up.
be aware.
Please. See that little,
Oh, so
hand it back to me.
what that is, Your Honor, is that when a person is looking on the social media page and they want to know the date of a posting and they hover,
Uh-huh.
it'll pop up or pop out in that manner.
So screenshot when it's
Are you
popped
gonna
up.
have somebody that is gonna be able to testify to that?
We sure are.
And
Because it was done
so
on more than one.
somebody hovered, that date appeared, and then y'all took the screenshot or whatever, screen grab.
Two things. We, in not just this instance, in other instances as well, we not only captured it as it was shown, like if it with January the 10th, 2015 on the picture itself, but we also went back, the person who was looking at the social media page and hovered just to get that pop out that the court is looking at on that exhibit.
Okay.
So in multiple cases, we have a screenshot of a social media page with the date on it,
Mhm.
and then a corresponding screenshot with the hovering where the date pops
Okay.
out.
So will you then intend to admit it as, or offer it as, are you gonna have both of those things available?
Both, yes, I mean, yes, in terms of what we intended to proffer,
It would be the screenshot as you look at it, or the screen grab as you look at it,
yes.
that has it the way we normally see it, and then also the hover, and then also somebody that is going to be able to say, when we see these dates, we have a reasonable degree of confidence that they actually mean what they say. and
Yes,
why.
we would have the person who first saw it and pulled it from the page, one, talk about what's on the screen grab, what's on the exhibit, and two, what the date means on the exhibit based on their understanding and knowledge of that particular social media platform. And three, we would ask, because I wouldn't see a need to admit both the original posting and the posting where it's popped out. But just as a next layer of confirmation as to the date that it was posted, we would ask, hey, how do you know? And then that person would say, well, you can also hover over the picture or the
But
posting.
who's that person?
And the date pops out.
Can you produce them?
And if the question becomes, well, did you do that? Yes, here's that exhibit with that pop out.
Name
date.
the person right now, or you're going to make
All
up a
right.
person.
And is there any objection to, I know this shows like some comments also. Is there objection to that?
There is, and in my, as I was preparing an exhibit, we, in accordance with what usually has occurred, is we take out all the extra comments, and my prepared exhibit has that all taken out. So I just wanted to put I didn't want anyone to say I did anything to the one that I was putting in my motion. But can I inquire about that? Because just so the court understands, in this discovery dump 1 to 2, that's where this picture is, to my understanding. I know it's there. It may be other places. And it just says, it's a folder, it says social media, and then there's a bunch of pictures. I don't know at this point, unless I missed it, I don't know who hovered over what picture, who collected this or anything like that. So I'm just trying to understand who's going to authenticate how this was collected and what date it was and how they hovered over the picture.
Have we gotten to the production of that information yet?
Your Honor, we have that in, they turned over attorney work products. So that information is contained within a report that was authored by, I believe, Mr. Sprinkle in our office. So and that actual picture is addressed directly.
Okay.
So in as much as we turn that report over,
All right. Sounds like it's Mr. Sprinkle.
he's one of the people who addresses that report, that social media posting.
Name all the people.
And what is
Name all of them
contained
so you
and
don't
what it
invent
shows.
somebody.
The person
Say who it is now.
collected this photo and hovered, or is he just making reports saying, I've got a pile of papers that are in a file and one of them happens to be a picture of Mr. Stillwell?
The way that we got the photo or knowledge that we should be looking there is from one of the investigators, the gang investigator, Gaither, who was working on the case, looking through social media files. Mr. Sprinkle, as I understand his report and as I understand my conversations with him, and I will make certain that what I'm saying is absolutely correct. Mr. Sprinkle addresses in his report this social media posting, and then he talks about the date that it was posted. My memory is that he talks about the popping out, but I have to look at that. But I know that it is definitely Mike Sprinkle and Investigator Gaither that, and as with the rest of them, he addresses quite a number of social media postings, both he and other investigators that have worked on the case.
All right. All right. So at least we've got that answered
So is Gaither coming back in?
or not.
It's been answered respectfully, Your Honor, but I guess this is just my way of saying this evidence did show up in their list of exhibits that they plan to introduce in the near future, and I am flagging my objection for the reasons I stated, and I guess we'll see how things
Okay. Well, I mean,
transpire.
sounds like a maybe authentication objection, maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be put to the task of establishing that. Okay. How far away is the Mondo board?
So Love tells us here that Gaither is the one that knows how this process works on Instagram, where you have to hover over and look for a date. But while we were rewatching Detective Gaither's testimony, we noticed something interesting. So here, this is back on day 68, April 29th of this year, while Detective Gaither is on the stand and Brian Steele is cross-examining her. He's about to ask about a different piece of media, that 17-second video of Jeffrey Williams. Pay attention to what questions he asks about what's on the screen.
Were you ever employed with the DeKalb County District Attorney's Office?
Was
When did that end, I guess?
almost as soon as it started. It wasn't for me.
When did it stop?
I believe it was August 2020, and I quit that in maybe late October.
Are you in law enforcement in any capacity now?
No,
All right, I think so. There's a line across. I
Didn't
don't
even
know
make it 90
why,
days.
but was that line there? You see over Mr. what I'll call Mr. Williams' left eye. Was that line there when you originally saw this?
no, it looked like this.
Okay, the line is gone. Okay. When did you first see this?
Roughly around the same time it was posted. It was very early on in our investigations.
Okay, and it's posted. I believe it says on States Exhibit number 112, or that's wrong. Yeah, 112 BB. I think it is now. You see January 26, 2015?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that would be approximately 16 days after the Gotham killing of Mr. Thomas. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And you see where it says repost? Was that?
Yes, sir.
What did you do when you and your teammates too to investigate what is WizApp? Learn about what is WizApp.
Why would I need to know what WizApp is?
I'm asking.
I'm not. Maybe I'm not understanding your question.
Well, maybe it's a bad question. What is repost WizApp?
I don't want to speculate the in and out details of it. I've seen it before, but I don't want to give you false information about what it is.
What it does is in the name. It's in the
I know, I'm
name.
just letting you know.
What did you do though, or your teammates, to get correct information? What is WizApp? Or excuse me, repost WizApp, if you know.
I'm not understanding what are you asking?
Okay. Did you or any of your teammates do anything to look into how some
And this is the same person. So remember, I think it was a week and a half ago. They were having some issues over a different post that they want to bring in. And they were arguing, well, the date's not shown. Oh, well, if we hover over the date, then you could see what date it was shown. Well, did somebody do that? And then Love was stumped. She was like, quiet. Who did that? She didn't really have an answer. And after a long pause, she finally, I think she ended up saying it was Michael Sprinkle that did it. Okay, well, can you have Michael Sprinkle, like, verify this? And she ended up saying that she would also ask Detective Gaither to say that this is the process that they use, is hovering over the dates to reveal the dates. And that's how you can see on Instagram how something's posted. But here, this same person that Love is telling us is going to vouch for another piece of evidence that was posted on Instagram can't even explain what something called Repost Wiz app does.
somebody uses repost WizApp, that application.
No.
And then this is posted by not Mr. Williams, correct?
This particular post on the screen with the comments, this is Mr. Garlington's page, Demikian Garlington's page.
And we know that because I believe kind of towards the top center right, S, and then instead of like a C, what I would say C, it's XAR underscore, then same thing, X replaced with C. So Scarface, but with two X's. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And you know that through your investigation to be Demikian Garlington's Instagram account, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you know that there are voices in the background, correct?
Besides Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Yes.
I had Mr. Williams up front, and then the background I have other voices.
Yes, sir.
At least she knew
And,
that.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, when this video audio was made by Mr. Williams?
Immediately approached.
Love is scared. Love is scared for this question.
I don't know.
So there you go. How is this witness supposed to be the same witness that Love needs to call to verify how they researched a date on another social media post, but they clearly don't understand how reposting works, even with an app with repost in the name? And even worse, this is what we've got when so much of this case comes down to social media posts and detectives like Detective Gaither's interpretations of those social media posts. So with that, that was just one moment that stood out to us on the rewind of Detective Gaither's testimony that tied into something that happened really recently. What are your thoughts? You guys all have a good one. See you tomorrow for Kenneth Copeland's testimony.